Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And in case this is your first time here, please don't forget to subscribe, and you can also turn on the notification bell just so you know when next I upload a new video. So guys, from the title of this video, I'm sure you already have an idea of what I'll be talking about. Weight loss. I'm so excited to do this video because it's been on my mind for a while. But I just wanted to wait till I got my target weight before I share. And I'll be sharing everything I did to get me from where I was coming from to where I am right now. So I'll probably insert videos or pictures of some things that I did. I know I have like some of my exercise routines up on my channel. You might have to check some of those videos out. And I would also be talking about something that really helped, which is intermittent fasting. Yes, intermittent fasting. I've talked about this before sometimes last year. Well, now I'm going to be going into more details of intermittent fasting, right? I think. Okay, so guys, I'll be talking about the things that I did, because trust me, when it comes to weight loss, there's nothing that fits, like there's no form of weight loss that fits everybody. Like you have to understand what works for you and then stick to that thing that you know that works for you. So I will explain that. 3 things helped me lose weight generally. The first is intermittent fasting. The second thing is exercising, and the third thing is portion control when it comes to food. So like I would like to say first that you need to study yourself. Probably make a list. What do you like to eat? What do you eat more of? What's your schedule like? When are you the most active? You know, do all of that for you to be able to decide on what you want to do about weight loss for yourself. So now, when it comes to intermittent fasting, it's just basically you not eating for a certain amount of time during a day and then eating for a certain amount of time. Some of us do it unconsciously, or probably have not noticed the difference in our weight because we are not doing it on a routine. Routine really matters. So for somebody like me, I fast for about 16 hours in a day and only eat like 8 hours in a day. Sometimes I only eat within 6 hours depending on the time and depending on how active I am. And it is very important to also know that your eating window should be your most active time of a day. So if you know you go out between this a certain hour, like maybe between 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock, then you make sure that whatever it is you are eating within that period of time. And then every other time you are probably resting, you are not eating anything. You can take water, you can take tea without sugar or milk and all that, but the most important thing is you are not consuming any calories, right? So and also make sure that whatever calorie you are taking in, you're burning times 2 of it during those times that you're active. Like, so if you're eating like 100 calories, make sure that your activity actually burns off like 250, 300 calories if possible. So recently I started even using a fitness watch, so that just helps me to monitor how much calories I lose in a day with all of my activity. So so for intermittent fasting, I fast for 16 hours at least, and then I eat for the remaining 8 hours. Now, when I say I eat during 8 hours, it's not like I'm eating every single hour during the 8 hours. No, I'm probably just eating twice. Sometimes if it is breakfast, I started eating around 11, 12, sometimes maybe 10, and then I stopped eating like around 4 or 6. So, and the reason why sometimes it might extend is just because, oh, maybe around 4 I couldn't eat and I had to eat around 6. Or maybe I should have taken breakfast around 10, I didn't take breakfast, then I decided that okay, 12 I'll eat, and then maybe 4, and then later 6. So there are all those variables, but they all always fall within 10 o'clock and 6 o'clock during the day. So then the remaining hours of the day I'm fasting, I'm maybe drinking water or taking green tea, because that's the only tea you can take that will not need sugar or milk. So that's how intermittent. I'll probably put a link in the description box for like an article on intermittent fasting that you can read up on your own just to understand it much better. Now, because I eat between 10 o'clock and a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. doesn't mean you should do the same thing. Look at your schedule, what works for your schedule, really. Some people work as late as 12 p.m. So if that is what your schedule is, you can find a way to incorporate your fasting your eating window up until that time, or maybe 2 hours before that time. So just look at what works for you. Some people, they get out of bed very late in the morning, so before they are even ready for the day, it's like 12 o'clock or like 1. You can put your eating window anytime from then. So just look at yourself and do what works for you. That is intermittent, and trust me, intermittent fasting really worked for me in this weight loss. In fact, I'm still doing intermittent fasting like now, even 1 year after, and I think it's something that I can do for as long as possible. Because even when I stopped going to the gym, when I stopped exercising, it was still intermittent fasting that kept on helping me to maintain my weight. So another thing that works alongside with intermittent fasting is portion control. So now I'm talking about these two first because some people probably will not even have time for exercise, or it might not be as regular as it should be. These two things that I'm talking about first should be what you should really focus your energy on. Except if maybe your weight right now is not what you want and you just want to be very drastic about the loss, then you can add a whole lot of other things into it. But trust me, the easiest way to start is to first control what you put in your mouth, how you put it, and when you put it. That is the first thing. I can say this anyway. I'm not a fitness expert, I'm not a nutritionist, but I'm saying what has worked for me over the years. So first, be able to discipline yourself when it comes to food. I eat whatever I want to eat. In fact, ice cream, cake, pizza, cookies, name it, sweets, those are the kind of things I even eat. I don't like eating food. If food is not attractive for me, I'm not eating. So it even takes me a lot of time and energy to prepare something that I really enjoy eating. So rather than do that, I'll just pick the next available junk food. That is me. And so I had to look at that kind of lifestyle for me and look for something that will work for that lifestyle. So now imagine that I was able to lose that much, and if I went on a diet, it probably would have been more. So portion control is very, very key. Meaning that even if, yes, you have 8 hours to eat in a day because you are very active for just 8 hours, whatever you are eating during that time, you should also be very, very mindful of it. Doesn't mean you should consume 2 plates of rice or eat, or eat like 10 times during that time, except you are eating just 2 spoons, So what you eat, the quantity really matters. Like for one, I use a very small plate in my house. My plate is like the smallest, and if I'm putting my food in that plate, there's a mark that I must not even exceed. So once I portion my food, that helps me to just control the amount of food that goes into my system. And the good thing about portion control is, if you now feel hungry like another 2 hours after that, you can always just take something else, but still in a very small quantity. So unlike when you eat so much and then you feel very full, and then you now have to still eat again, because there's no how. After a while, your body will just give you this false impression that you're hungry, when sometimes you might just be thirsty and you just need to drink water. So you just really have to be controlled and mindful of what you put into your system. Most times when I even eat a lot, I feel so full that I'm very uncomfortable, and then I start to look for, maybe I have to chew gum or I have to just take a walk, just because I have overstretched my system. So, but that's how portion control really works. So, and that helps. So even if you're not able to start exercising immediately, you're not able to be so active to lose so much calories, first start to control the amount of calories that you take in, and then trust me, even if you don't lose weight immediately, at least you will not be adding more weight. Yeah, that makes sense. So now the third thing I would like to talk about is the exercise part. Like I said, somehow I've always found a way to incorporate exercise into my routine, because I've always been very active. Maybe now because so much life issues, having children, working, juggling so many things together, it might not be as much as before, but I'm slowly starting to get back into that routine. So when I really first started my weight loss journey, which was in March last year, I had to register in the gym. So between March and June, I was very active. I was going to the gym for like 2 hours in a day, and also still doing the intermittent fasting and then the portion control. One of the reasons why I registered in the gym was just because I wanted motivation, because I've always used a personal trainer, but it wasn't as effective as I would have wanted it to be. So I was like, okay, let me try something different. Now the gym came with either using the, I could either go to the gym itself or just join the aerobic session somewhere else within the same premises. So I decided to do more of the aerobics because I was really enjoying it. There were a lot of people, and then we do that for an hour between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m. and then the remaining 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I would swim. So I did that for like 3 months, and trust me, coupled with intermittent fasting and portion control, of course, at the end of that 3 months, I noticed that I had lost about 5 kg. And even it wasn't just about losing the 5 kg, even physically, there was a lot of difference, and I was really, really loving, what I was seeing. So, but unfortunately, we had to move houses during that time, and by the time we had moved in July, it took me a while to settle in, like the whole stress, like the whole of July I couldn't even do anything. I was just so stressed up. So I couldn't go back to the gym for a long time. So I only just continued my intermittent fasting and my portion control. So I kept on doing that and trying to just maintain the 5 kg. Remember, I started from 85, so around this time I was just about 80 kg. So I was always in between. And then I started doing a business because I was still not working, so I was doing a business that required me making deliveries and all that. So I was doing all of that. So fast forward to November, we had to go for vacation, and during the vacation, like the hotel we stayed came with a gym and a pool. So at least I was trying to do like 30 minutes in each, like go to the gym for 30 minutes, go to the pool for 30 minutes. I tried. And also because we were tourists, we were moving around a lot, so I felt like, I was getting some form of activity, but I wasn't eating healthy. I was eating late, I was eating anything. Every unhealthy food you could think of, I was eating. Like, I wasn't even getting the kind of food I would have eaten back in Nigeria. So I just had to make effort to at least whatever calories I was consuming, I was trying to burn it off. So, but I wasn't losing weight. So we came back from the vacation in December, and during that time I didn't have help after a while, and till January, so I really couldn't even be as active as I would have wanted to be. So but in January I started working again, and the job came with a lot of stress, so I couldn't do intermittent fasting. I was just eating whenever I really felt like weak, and by February, March I noticed that I had gained weight again. So I had to start becoming very conscious of myself. So in March, I knew that I couldn't go to the gym every day again because of the work. So I started doing weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 1 hour, maybe in the gym or in the pool, whichever one I really wanted to at that moment. And then I started doing that. So I noticed that, okay, at least even if I wasn't losing any form of, like any significant form of weight, at least I was trying to stay active. Then 3 weeks into March, the lockdown happened. And I was like, just when I thought I've started doing something, this is happening. So I had to start thinking, so what do I do? Now that I have time, we didn't even know how long the lockdown was going to be, but I was determined to be as active as I could and take advantage of that lockdown. So I went on YouTube, I started looking for exercises. Like I said, you have to experiment to find out which one works for you. So I started looking for different HIIT exercises and started experimenting with them till I found the one that was convenient for me to be consistent with. So I started doing that. That was March, April, and trust me, by May, like 2 weeks into May, I noticed that I had lost, I think at the time I started being very active, I weighed myself and I was 79 kg. That was late March. But by early May, I was weighing 74 kg. Like not early May, like middle of May. 2 weeks into May, I was weighing 74 kg. I was so happy with myself that I was actually able to lose like 5 kg in just 1 month and 2 weeks. So I had to challenge myself again that, okay, what can I do? By the end of May, I want to have lost like 4 kg. I want to be on 70. So I decided to take a jump rope challenge of skipping 1,000 skips in like on a daily basis in 2 weeks, and I started doing that. So but I was only able to lose 2.5 kg, but trust me, that was good for me. So it just shows that whatever it is that you set your mind to do, you can do it. And trust me, intermittent fasting and portion control still kept on working for me, because I still stayed on that, and that helped. I was burning off the excess calories and I was consuming less calories, so that's why I said, even if you don't have opportunity to exercise, always try to do that intermittent fasting and portion control. Incorporate it to your lifestyle somehow, and even when you are not able to be as active as you want to be, that will still end up working for you. I hope that made sense. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, if you do, remember to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell. Like I said, I'll leave an article on intermittent fasting in the description box below. But if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section and I will answer. And trust me, if you want to start your own journey, I'll be here to take you by the hand and help you through that journey. I'm making that promise to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.